The Raid Shadow Legends community is still voting for the skills of this legendary champion who will be the fusion for the month of May. Still, this champion will be available to obtain for free if you do some events and tournaments that will come up during that month of May. But we, the Raid players, have this unique opportunity that have never been done before to vote for the skills we would love to see on this champion. So far, we voted on the A3, we voted on the A2. Now, this is the opportunity to vote for the A1. I'll be placing my votes in this video so you can see so far what the community is saying about his skill. I think we are leading with him going towards a defensive based champion, and you see his A1, which we are currently voting for right now. Let's see what people voted for. For the A3, most people voted for that defense focus, which has that unique buff right here. Okay, you can see it. Let me switch over to it. That's it right here. This is what people voted for. I'll put the link to this page in the first pinned comment right here, so you can click it immediately and cast your vote for the A1. I'm saying for the A3, people voted towards that unique new type of buff that came into the game with this introduction of this new champion. Also, it places interception. That's the main new thing. Then it also places an increased defense and shield. The shield is proportional to his defense, and that's going to make him have a big shield on all our allies. So that's what people voted for. It's not because of the shield and all the increased defense. People originally voted for that interception, which has a unique synergy that players who have it on them cannot be frozen, stunned, cannot be crowd controlled basically. So that's the A3. I also voted for that on the A3 when it was available. So the A3 won by 50%. So 50% of the player base did vote for that A3. Let me zoom in so you can see it a little bit better right here. So that's it. A3, a lot of people voted for that. Now for the A2, which won by 60.44%. That's even a bigger number of people who voted for that A2. It's also an AoE. Well, this one attacks all enemies, has a 75% chance of placing decreased attack debuff for 2 turns. Also increases duration of all buffs by 1 turn. Increases duration of all buffs by 1 turn. It places decreased attack on the enemies, increases our own duration of our own buffs. That's amazing. Right? On him or on everybody. I hope it's on everybody. Then increases the value of all shield on all allies. The value of the shield is increased proportional to the total number of buffs which had their duration increased. That's almost like a Brognis type of shield that will even make the shield that was small before now become a little bit bigger, or a Valkyrie, or some players, a few players have that mechanic to boost their shield that they already have on the allies. And increasing duration of that buff, which might include the shield, means they even last longer. So a large shield does not just expire. So people are going towards this. Is also a defensive focused one. Does that mean on the A1 a lot of people will also go towards a defensive focused A1? Well, that will make sense. Let me click on the A1 and see what's available. Okay, I have to click vote first of all. So let's go vote for the A1. All right, the A1 skills are now available, and let's break it down. And hopefully I managed to convince you to choose one of the skills I go for, or you can always choose the skills that make sense for you. Let me switch myself over to this part so you can see it clearly. All right, the A1 is not the most important skill on a champion, but it's sometimes for some players it can be their make or break. If you don't care much about their A2 and A3, sometimes you even turn off their A2 and A3 and use only their A1s. Let's see if his A1 will make a little bit of sense. All right, for the A1, for the damage focused one, which is going to be like an attack based, it will have a double hit, has a 25% chance of granting an extra turn. I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like this type of skill is best on an epic champion. We normally don't see this type of A1 that grants an extra turn on a legendary champion like this. It's best seen on an epic champion. It doesn't bring any debuff. It doesn't ignore any defense. It doesn't do anything in particular. Now, if this A1 has an extra, maybe since it's a pure damage dealing ability, that's why they say extra turn. He hit 2 times already. That means he's gonna hit again and again. The extra turn, does that mean he can now use any of his skills? If that allows him to use any of his skills, not just an A1 that can be repeated, extra turn means he can use any of his skills. That's definitely what it means. So if you go in with the A1, he grants an extra turn, you can now go in with your A2 and A3 or A3. making the A2 and A3 have their cooldown even reduced further. And you can maybe with books increase the chance of granting an extra turn by up to 50%. That would be amazing if that A1. That's for a damage focused one. So it's not a bad one. If it's just 25%, it's going to be an epic skill. But if it's up to 50%, then definitely that's what's being used on a legendary champion. Now for the A2, which is called defense focus, it's not a name, but it's going to make him like a defensive based champion, just like his A2 and A3 already is defense focus. Let's see if it synergizes well with these two other skills. On the A2, on the A1, I mean, attacks one enemy 2 times, the same thing as the other damage focused one. But this one, each hit has a 40% chance of placing provoke. A1 provoke, 40% chance. Can it be booked up to further to a 50% chance? Maybe. If the target is a boss, the chance increases to 80%. There's not a lot of champions or a lot of bosses that can be provoked, but only the Hydra or the Magma Dragon can be provoked. Those are the only 2 I know in raid that can be provoked. And it's not worth using if it's a single target provoke. Now if it's just like a AoE provoke, then it's going to be amazing, but this is a single target provoke, is more like an epic skill. So for legendaries, their provokes normally should be a AoE provoke, and not even up to a 50% chance when booked. It should be a 60%, 70% chance if it's going to be an A1 provoke. So if it's going to be defensive based, I tell you, this provoke is not the best part of the skills. But if it synergizes well with the other skills, then I guess. But it doesn't have that extra turn mechanic like the damage focus does. So I'm not yet sold on that provoke. Because of that, very few places in raid where that will come in handy. And of course, you'll need accuracy for it to land. He's already putting decreased attack on his A2. That means he will most likely need to be built with accuracy for this decreased attack to be landing. So I guess provoke makes sense if you already have accuracy on a champion like this. Now for the support focused one, which I think defensive focus will win because it synergizes well with other kits. But let's see, support focus says he attacks one enemy 2 times. Each hit has a 50% chance of placing a 5% poison debuff for 2 turns. Yeah, the support focused one for their A2, I think on the A3, they were trying to make him towards a poison and damage dealer. I think that's what support focus was looking forward to, and I'm not quite sold on it. So I think nobody will be looking forward to an A1 that has a 50% chance of placing a 5% poison debuff for 2 turns. Just one 5% poison on an A1. When you have Mitrala that can place 2 poisons on an A1, so we're not trying to compare, but we already have somebody who has an A1 that does something similar like that and more. So that support one doesn't really make sense for an A1 poison. But for the provoke, since he's already going to be a defensive based champion that is doing this intercept, so does that mean this champion all of a sudden becomes an Hydra champion? So we don't get through feared. I think the intercept, since it's just going to be, it's not an AoE, it's a single target intercept, right? On a target ally. So unless it's going to be using it a lot, that means everybody in our team now will have intercept buff. So if this works out fine, then I guess provoke works at the same time, because that's the one content I'm thinking. You always want to think about where this champion will be used for you on your teams. For me, I think so far I haven't had a clear vision of where I want to use him. Intercept looks like a PvP skill, because that's where you normally have all these crowd control debuffs placed on you. Using this champion intercept as a way of dealing with the Hydras through fear is not the best way. As a way of dealing with the Hydra provoke is also not the best way to deal with that. Block debuff buff or your Inquisitor Shemel is the best way to always deal with that. So intercept will not be a solution to crowd control in the Hydra. I don't see it working in there. So that's why I'm looking forward to this skill, the decreased attack at least, and the one that increases duration of all our buffs, including the shield, and increase the value of the shield also, is what will work well with this defensive focused A1. So I'm leaning towards the defensive focused A1 just because of this A2, not because of the A3, because this A2 works well with it. As for the damage focused, Does that mean if a lot of people select damage focus, will it all of a sudden be A1 damage focused, A2 defense focused, and A2 defense focused? Normally, we don't see a champion in raid like that has multiple skills. That is, one is damage focused, one is defense focused. We don't see that happening. Champions who have that normally get reworked or buffed in some way, because they are not that easy to build when you're focusing on many different things where they can survive or do damage from. All right, so I'm gonna head towards the defense focus. Let me know in the comments what you think about my choice and my explanation about this A1. Like I said, A1 provoke on it's normally a epic type of skill, but if it's up to 50% and it does something else, which is a 80% increase against bosses, probably gonna be 100%. That makes it worth it, because he can always use his A1 in the Hydra if that's the only reason you bring him to the skill. But guess what? That type of thing cannot be used on auto. That's why I don't like single target A1s, a single target provokes. I want AoE provokes, so I don't have to manual the Hydra. So let's see what the community is voting on. Based on my votes, everybody 55% is going for that provoke, because it's far better than poison. It's also far better than getting an extra turn than A1. So that's the vote right here. Remember, this is not ending yet. You still have a chance to go up there and vote for the aura, right? The passive, the passive will be available to be voted for in 2 more days. That's also, some champions just use their passive and get extra advantage. If you're not yet satisfied with his A1, A2, and A3 defense focus skills right now, the passive might be the one to sway you. So we're waiting to see what the passive will look like. They did leak the A1, A2, and A3, but the passive was not revealed to us, right? It was not leaked. So we're looking forward to that, to see if it's going to be the thing that will make this champion all of a sudden worth going for in that 9th of May fusion that is coming up soon. Are you still going for this fusion? Tell me in the comments which of these skills did you vote for. Did you go for the A1, A2, or the A3 poison focus? I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinion below. And yeah, like I said, the link to this voting will be pinned in the first comment, so go over there and click it and vote. And as you are in the comment section clicking that link, also let me know what you voted for. I'd love to hear your opinion and why you also voted for that. As you're writing that comment, include your code. You might get some awesome reward coming directly from Plarium for those who drop a comment in this video with their code telling me which of the skills they voted for and explaining why you went for that, in case my explanation was not, understandable. 5 winners will be picked from this video to win 300 energy, 1 rank 5 chicken, which is huge, 2 sets of multi-battle attempts, and 1 XP boost for 3 days. So this is a Plarium gift coming to you just for taking part in this event amongst content creators, and because that's why we're talking about the skills in great detail, to remind you, because if we don't put out videos like this, a lot of people will forget to go cast their vote, and this champion will just be chosen, his skills will be chosen by Plarium. And when Plarium choose champion skills, they don't always choose the best skills that will benefit the community. They always choose the best skills that they can come up and buff later. So we want to choose the best skills for this champion right now, even if all the skills is looking lackluster, but we're still choosing one out of all of them that are optional to us. And yeah, hopefully this one comes out fine and this champion is launched in the game in May 9th, and we begin to see the crazy things and the areas where you can help him. Because it's one thing to idolize or to analyze the champion's skills by just reading it. It's quite another thing to actually test the champion in battle, check out his stats and all that good stuff. So maybe that's what will even make him even better when we test him. Right now we're all just speculating about where he will be used and how we're going to use him. So I'd love to hear your speculations in the comment below. Don't forget to include your code for those awesome rewards that are especially beneficial to free-to-play players who 300 energy and 1 rank 5 chicken is huge for you. So add your code. If you do not know what your code is, head over to the game right here and click your name or your avatar. Where is it? Click your avatar, go to info, and that's your code. Just copy it and paste it along with your comment. Even if YouTube filters it, I will see it in the filtered comments. And yeah, I'll be picking winners for this one in a live stream on Saturday. No, I'll be out of town on Saturday. So anyways, watch out for that one. And yeah, I'll pick winners and post it in my next videos. Later, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more daily raid content. Bye, guys.